Hello, welcome to Ark Training. Today's session is going to be on our class notebook. So I'm on my teams, on my me space over here. These are all of my teams, and I'm going to go and look at our Ford team. Obviously these are all teams that I'm involved with, but Ford, that'll do. So we're going to go to Ford and let's just go to class notebook, and here is our class notebook. Here is our class notebook. Obviously when you open class notebook you get the welcome to class notebook, this is how wonderful we are, etc, etc. Okay, so if we have a look at the top we can see this is a very sort of familiar looking Microsoft interface. So you've got your file, your home, insert, drawer, that sort of stuff. It's actually fairly sort of basic, fairly easy to get to grips with. There's a nice little right arrow here that says open the navigation panel, which is actually what we're going to do. And once we've got our navigation panel open, we can see we've got our welcome to the class notebook. There's some FAQs there as well, so if we just click on the FAQ, where can I get more class notebook questions answered, we can click on the link and all this sort of stuff. We have down here on the left hand side we have our collaboration space, the content library, and we've got our pupils as well. It's worth noting that when a pupil logs on, all they get to see is their notebook. Okay, so when the pupil logs on, they don't get to see 5 notebooks down here, they will get to see their notebook and their notebook alone. So if we have a look at our collaboration space, the first one there is using the collaboration space, and there's a little handy hint to get started with a collaboration space. You can, if you wish, you can right click on this and you can rename the section, and we can delete a section. So if you want to, we can permanently delete that section. Okay, what we're actually going to do is here we go, that's all back. We can add sections as we wish. So if you look down here, sorry my screen's a little bit scrunched, it does say add section, so I'm going to add a section here. This is the Ford team, so the Fiesta is obviously a make from Ford. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to put in a different car. So let's go with the Cougar, which is an SUV from Ford. And you can see it immediately spawns a page, and as soon as I type something in here, so let's just put in Cougar is a world car. Is a world car. Okay, so Cougar is a world car, and I'm going to click down there, and then I'm going to put in there explain what that means. Okay, so let's have a look. The Cougar is a world car. Explain what that means. Now, when we get our students logging on and looking at the class notebook, in our collaboration space, they get to add their stuff here as well. So a student can log on and say, okay, it means it's the same car all over the world. Okay, there we go. So we're going to say that student 0 says it means it's the same car over the world, all over the world. If student 15 logs on or whatever, anybody can add to the collaboration space. What we can also do, I should point out, the Cougar is actually a world car, which means that no matter what country you go to, no matter what continent you go to, Ford will sell you a Cougar. It's the same car, whether it's left-hand drive or right-hand drive, whether you're in the UK or whether you're in France, Germany, or indeed in Mexico, the United States, Canada. It's the same car. They finally got around to the idea that actually, if we made one car and sold it everywhere, we could save money. But anyway, I digress. So we can add different sections down here, and within our sections we can add pages. So I'm just going to add another page. So we can now put in here, okay, let's just go with release date. Why not? And we can put in here, so when was the Cougar released? Here we go, and so we can actually have a release date. So Cougar is a world car and release date. we can have another page. Let's add another page. And what mark are they on now? So obviously, you know, cars have facelifts and stuff, and we say, oh yeah, no, that's a Mark 1, that's a Mark 2, that's a Mark 3, all of that sort of stuff. So we can see that we're actually building up quite a nice little collaboration here. We can ask questions, students can put in there what they think the answer is, and it's actually quite cool. We can insert, if we want to, we can insert files. So we can insert, if we have a PDF to hand out, so that we want everybody to have. So let's just go with, there you go, that's a PDF. That's actually my cybersecurity operations certificate, but it makes no difference. So we can insert a PDF, we can insert an image, we can insert anything we want, and there you go, that really is my Cisco cybersecurity certificate. Sorry, it's the first PDF I saw, I do apologise. We can even insert pictures if we want, so we can actually obviously browse from a file. So if we have a picture on file that we want to use, we can add one of those. We can add a picture from a camera, so we can obviously take it from our webcam, or we can go from online as well. So let's just, I very much doubt this is going to work, but you never know. There we go, there's a Ford Cougar. And in fact, there's a couple of different models of the Ford Cougar. In fact, 3 by the looks of it. So let's just go with, I have, oh, that looks really nice, doesn't it? Let's have that one, why not? So we can insert a picture of a Ford Cougar, and everybody will get to see this picture of a Ford Cougar. It's not very big, so I'm going to just click on it and make it a little bit bigger, in the same way that we do with all of our Microsoft products. So there we go, there's a nice picture of a Ford Cougar. Very nice dark grey. Lovely. Oh, what a wonderful car. So we can add stuff like PDF files, we can add stuff like images, we can put in links if we want to as well. If I can get off the Ford Cougar, it would help. So we can add links to things like a YouTube video if we wanted to. So if I actually just go to YouTube in another window for a moment, so YouTube, and then put in there, come on, Ford Cougar, here we go. So let's have a look at the new Ford Cougar. Would you buy a Ford Cougar? And then I'm just going to share that, copy that, come back to our Teams window. I'm going to put YouTube Cougar 2020, and then just put in our URL. So we can actually click on that, and it will take you to a YouTube link on the new Ford Cougar that was released this year. So we can put all sorts of amazing stuff in here. We can, if we want to, we can insert some audio files as well. Obviously I'm using my microphone at the moment, which reminds me, I apologise if the sound's a little bit off today. I'm actually working in the office today, and I'm in quite a large office and I'm the only one in here, so it's a little bit echoey, so I apologise for that. But yeah, if we wanted to, if we can actually put in audio recordings. Obviously I can't at the moment really, because I'm already using mine. We can insert symbols, we can do maths equations, emojis and all this sort of stuff. We can actually put in stickers as well. So I'm just going to put in a sticker of, here we go, oh dear, office drama. There's a new section called Office Drama. Right, okay. That'll do. It generally doesn't matter what it is, so that's fine. So I can put in a nice sticker about working late. There we go. So all of these sort of things are easily put in, no problem at all. Before I do the next bit, I'm going to wholeheartedly apologise. There is a reason I work in IT, and that reason is quite simply I'm good at IT. I am, on the other hand, rubbish at drawing. In fact, I'm so rubbish at drawing you wouldn't believe it. but you're about to experience how amazing my drawing really can be. Way back in the deep dark recesses of time when I was actually doing my GCSEs at school, I got to drop art, obviously when I chose my options, and my art teacher said, "You're not doing art next year, are you, Simon?" I said, "No, I'm not." She said, "Oh, good. In that case, you can sit in the corner, just do what you like." I was that bad. One of the great things about the class notebook is, let's just grab a pen. Actually, we'll do it in red. So I've hit pen, I've selected my colour, just red. I can obviously have a deeper colour there, or a wider range of colours, and then I can actually select the thickness of my line. I'm just going to go with that one for the time being. So if we want to, we can actually start drawing. Okay, so I can start drawing. So if I wanted to draw a picture of a house, right, I did tell you that my name is not Picasso, and I'm doing this with a mouse. You know, if you've got like a touch screen or a graphics, oh my good lord alive. Right, this is obviously a house for skinny people, and then obviously, you know, you have to have a chimney and some sort of smoke coming out of it, despite the fact I think it's about 30 degrees outside. But there you go, there's my house. Obviously it's not my house. My house is far more wobbly, but we can actually insert some drawings as well. One of the great things about our class notebook is we can also, if we want to, we can do some other stuff. So for the sake of example, I want to point out to my students this rear spoiler, so I can actually draw and sort of circle round the rear spoiler, and now I can actually just put in some text just there, because I want my text box to be here, and say look at the spoiler. Here we go, and then I'm just going to drag that up there, so it just highlights to my students that I want them to look at the rear spoiler. I don't know why I want them to look at a rear spoiler, but let's just say that we do. So we imported that image, but I can draw on that image. If I can draw on any image, I can draw anywhere I like, pretty much. So if I wanted to underline CCNA, cybersecurity operations, I can underline that. I can actually just cross out that if I want to. I can do whatever I want. I can draw anywhere I like. I can also, if I want to, I can erase stuff. So I'm going to hit the erase button, click that, and it will only erase the bits that I've drawn, which is useful for when you've made a complete mess of it like I have. But we can actually draw stuff, and that's really cool. We can actually layer our content so it looks really nice and rich. I'm sure that you guys are way better at this than I am. To be fair, it's not hard to be better at drawing than I am. In fact, it's very, very easy to be better at drawing than I am. We can even put in some maths equations. This is going to be brilliant. You're going to love this. You are going to love it, I promise you. So let's just go down here a little bit. I'm going to put in 2 times 5. Right, that's supposed to say 2 times 5. So let's do it over here. Right, 2 times 5. I'm going to grab this little marquee tool up here, and I'm going to select that, and then I'm going to go to maths, and it will okay, it thinks I wrote 2e, so I'm going to kind of, wow. And then if you were better at drawing stuff, you know, you can kind of, wow. Right, let's fix it. Let's go back down here, and we're going to fix that bit. That's the half that we want to fix. So select. Basically, if you're better than me, what you can do is, right, let's try an easy one. 1 plus 1. Right. Okay. Are we ready? So now I'm going to hit the marquee tool, and I'm just going to highlight 1 plus 1, and I'm going to get maths to try and solve it. Right, I want to fix that bit. Right, so I actually want it as 1 plus 1. There we go, 1 plus 1. Now I can hit done, and there we go. And we can say ink to math, and it will type us 1 plus 1. Obviously, what we can just do is go to our text box anyway, and just type 1 plus 1, and it does exactly the same, basically. But for, you know, when you're doing brackets and all of that sort of stuff, obviously it does make a lot more sense to possibly draw it. So we are in our Cougar page. I'm going to add another page, and this time I'm going to call this one. Oh, good lord! Where is it made? Here we go. So where is it made? I don't care, to be fair, but let's just say where is it made. Now what we can also do, and this is quite good, let's right click on this for a minute. We can actually make it a subpage. So I'm going to make it a subpage of what mark are they on now? Where is it made? So we can see that indent means that it's a subpage. We can, if we want to, we can make it, we can copy it, we can delete it, we can obviously put a page in after it, we can promote it back to a normal page if we want. So we can obviously make it a subpage or promote it to a page. If we didn't want this light blue colour, if we right click on our section, we can change the colour to whatever we want. So let's just go with orange, that'll do, just to show you that obviously it changes, but every single page then changes as well. So whatever colour we set our section to be over here, that flows right down there. So that's the collaboration space, and like I said, everybody, whether it's a pupil or a teacher, has access to the collaboration page and can change whatever we want. From a pupil point of view, let's have a quick look in a pupil. So Ark Pupil 3 has a Granada page, because when I set the notebook up, it came up with different pages and things. Whatever Ark Pupil 3 does, Ark Pupil 3 gets to see, and the teacher gets to see. Nobody else, just Ark Pupil 3 and just us as the tutors. We can, if we want to, access their work and say, do this, do that, have this, have that. And the only person that can see that is Ark Pupil 3 and us. So again, there is that very nice interaction that we've got there. And this is very much like in your class where, you know, you're making stuff and your pupils bringing you their work to show you. So you can look at it and go, oh, that's absolutely amazing, Scarlett, you've done really well there, you know, have a gold star or whatever, or oh, actually, Scarlett, you've missed out this, or you know, have you thought about adding that, etc., etc. It's that interaction. So your pupil has brought you their work, you can obviously mark it, or you know, you can put on what you want. And it's that interaction. It is brilliant. So it's exactly that process of somebody bringing their work to show you. Only they've seen it. Only you can sort of see it as well. So there's only the pair of you that are actually going to see that. Obviously, if we've got 2 teachers per class, then obviously both teachers and the student can see that. But nobody else, no other pupil can see a pupil's work. We as teachers can, because obviously we get to see their work. That's what we should do. But pupils only get to see their work. So if we wanted to, we can put in here, homework. We can give them some homework. So we can say, I don't know, 1st of June. So they know that it's obviously for the 1st of June. Look at the Ford Cougar. Not the KUG, the old Cougar. Is it the same car? And the answer is actually no, it's not. I don't know why they had to call it a Cougar as well, but never mind. So if we look in there, we can let's just actually, because that, see, for those English teachers out there, I've just corrected that. So we can actually go in there, set them homework, or something to look at, something to do, and then obviously little Scarlett can then do whatever she needs to do. She can put in, I don't know, she can add a picture, online picture, and we can actually do, let's just search for a Ford Cougar. And that is a Ford Cougar, back from the 90s. So you can insert that picture, it'll insert that image, and then we can obviously insert from online again. Only this time we're going to do a Ford Cougar. We'll choose that very nice looking black Cougar there. That'll insert that Cougar, and then underneath that she can just type, is it the same car? No, they are not. There we go. No, they're not. So that's the 90s Cougar. This is the modern Cougar. So we then can have a look in there later on. Oh yeah, no, okay, Scarlett's got the hang of it. That's brilliant. Handouts. So obviously, again, if we're giving our class some handouts, we can embed some links, some documents, etc., etc. Class notes. Again, you can actually change these without any problem at all. If you don't want that section, you can rename it. You can delete that section if you want. There you go. Bye. It's gone. This is totally up to you. It's your class, so you put in what you want it to have. When we first create the class notebook, it actually asks you, and if you look at the teams run through that we've done, actually creating a team, I don't think it's on there, so I will go through that. In fact, let's do it now. Let's go back to all of our teams, and I'm just going to create a new team very, very quickly. I'm going to call it a class, and we're going to have it as a GT. We're going to have a Ford GT. Why not? We'll have a Ford GT. It will create the team. I'm just going to put Ark Pupil 1 in there for a moment, and there we go. Click close. So here we go. If I go back to my teams, here's GT, because obviously it would be a Ford GT. And if I go to class notebook, I've obviously never opened the class notebook. As you know, I've just created this team. So it actually tells you to set one up. So we set up, and I generally do it from a blank notebook. You can do it from another notebook if you wish. So these are the general defaults, so we just push next. So this is what we would actually have. So we can actually, if we don't want class notes, we'll take out class notes. If you don't want handouts, we can take out handouts. If on the other hand you want to add a new section, so let's just say the original GT40, and then you can add another section if you like, and say, the new GT, how bad was it, how great was it, and then we're just going to click create, getting your class notebook ready, and then however many students we have, obviously it will create their class notebooks. So you have, our people 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc., etc. But just for the time being, come on. Right, here we go. So I'm going to expand that. We only put one pupil in there, and they are the ones that we've just added. I'm going to add another pupil just quickly. So I'm going to add a member. We're just going to say Ark Pupil 2. Why not? Add and close. So if I go into General Class Notebook, we now actually will see 1 and 2. So even when we add students at a later date, we can actually still see that they will have a class notebook. Oh, it's going to want me to come out and go back in again, isn't it? Right, let's go into Ford for a moment. Come back out of Ford, into GT, go to the class notebook. Is it actually now going to pick it up? No, because it's a pain. Alright, let's hit refresh. and that should actually force it to pick up Ark Pupil 2. My laptop is being particularly slow. Whenever we add a new pupil, they will actually get exactly the same tabs. So that's pretty much the class notebook. We can use it. You can use it to make incredibly feature-rich content. You can use it to share work and collaborate with your pupils. And it really is. It's a great feature-rich environment that you can do all sorts with. I know you're going to use it better than I can because, as we've quite rightly pointed out, my artistic skills are sadly lacking. I mean, very, very sadly lacking. But that is how we would actually use the class notebook. You can explore that. You can do so much more with it. I know you can. I mean, you are way better than I am. I hope you found this session good and interesting and useful. If you have, obviously we'll catch you in another session, hopefully. Have a lovely day, and I'll hopefully see you soon.